Say, when you were a kid, did you ever get your hand caught in the cookie jar? Well, that's been a temptation for kids for many generations. And as Rob Wiles discovered, the cookie jar is also a good name for a restaurant in Dunlap, Tennessee. Now, before you become fascinated with the food there, you'll no doubt become captivated by the scenery around it.
Dunlap, near Chattanooga, is one of the prettiest places you'll find. Beautiful scenery in a breathtaking valley, the home of fertile farmland.
They've been wrestling with you, haven't they? Yeah, Grandma been wrestling with you.
This farm has been home to the Johnson family, including Sue Ann Lockhart, for more than a century. So when her dad decided it was time to retire, Sue Ann and her sisters just couldn't see the place being sold.
I was at MTSU. My oldest sister was working at the bank, and my middle sister was teaching school. And we all decided that we weren't ready to get rid of our farm. So we brainstormed and come together and decided we would do field trips. And originally this was just supposed to be a snack shop. But the community kind of came together and told us what they wanted, and we ended up with a full restaurant on our hands. Is everything okay? Good, 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 good. So I was the only one who had any restaurant experience. I had worked in a restaurant in Nashville for about 2 years as a server, and that was it. The rest of it, we just went by the whims of the night, I guess.
Yeah, one of the questions going around that night was, what do we call our new place?
My middle sister, Bonnie, she started collecting cookie jars about 15 years ago. And when we got the building built, we were in here trying to decide how to decorate it. And in the process of us all moving home to start this, we were kind of shifting houses, and we didn't really want to move all these cookie jars 5 times. So she said, why don't we put them up on the shelf inside the restaurant? And so we all said, okay, and that's just kind of how it happened. So
it's amazing what lengths people will go to not to move things.
yes, it is. Build a whole restaurant just to put them in there.
That's right. Do you care anything about them yourself, or is that your sister's thing?
They're my sister's thing, but you know, I do like them. People bring them to me now, and lots of people who have, like if they have a relative that's passed on and they have a cookie jar of theirs that they want, they'll bring it here and put it up, and so it's kind of been like a little memoir for a lot of people.
And is there one of those cookie jars among the many that reflects who Sue Ann is?
There's a bear and a moose in a canoe on the other end, and that's probably my favorite one.
I saw that. Which one are you think, in that canoe? Are you steering or?
No, I'm riding. I'm easing along.
So the name was set, and it wasn't like the Johnson family women didn't have experience at feeding hungry folks.
Most of the recipes came from my grandmother, which we call Mamaw. She was my dad's mom. She taught us everything we know, from cooking gravy and biscuits to our cream pies that we have here on the place. So most of the recipes that we use are hers. Almost everything that we can make from scratch we do, even down to the pie crust on the pies. We make our own rolls, our own cornbread, our own slaw, slice our own cabbage and all. So we stay very busy.
Now, Meemaw wasn't an armchair chef by any means. Her feeds were legendary.
We always had dinner, well, lunch, I guess you would call it, at 11 o'clock every day, and the community knew it. And so, you know, if somebody was passing through or they were in the fields working, they would all come to my Mamaw's house and eat. So she had this huge table that would seat 12 people or more, and we'd always have extra side tables we had to set up. So she cooked big lunches every day.
Many people who come here to the cookie jar to this day still remember Meemaw's groaning lunch table.
Big feeds, big plates, and big food.
Yeah.
Good food.
Mm-hmm. And so you just happened to take your lunch break about the same time they were having dinner down there?
Every day. Yeah.
Every day.
So the tradition Meemaw started is carried on, with Sue Ann doing most of the cooking these days.
The specialties, we have our grilled meatloaf, which we don't have a lot of places. We have fried catfish, which is very popular, and chicken livers. We sell lots of chicken livers.
Why do you suppose chicken livers are so popular?
I'm not really sure, but they are. We sell tons of them.
This is still a farm, so there's a petting zoo to remind people about that.
Even the children in our area aren't familiar with it. And Dunlap's a very rural town, but they're still not familiar with farm life at all. So we bring our whole elementary school, which is about 1,100 kids, up here once a year, and they get to come around, and a lot of the local vendors set up and show them about farm life, and it's really nice.
The farm animal viewing area is really popular out here because you'd be surprised, even in this rural area, so many people don't know how a farm works. For those of us who do, maybe the attraction isn't so much the geese or the mule, it's the lovely countryside where they live. And when you couple that with the great food that's here and the extraordinary hospitality, makes a drive out here to the cookie jar well worth the effort.